Hello.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, the audio is it's fine. Okay. We should be able to turn on the camera for the live stream. And if you just like 2 seconds. The music in the background will be, I'm Kazan. If anyone knows that, I mean, just hopefully don't know where it's from,
Mm-hmm.
Am I right, Asuna?
Yeah.
Asuna?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh my god, I had my phone muted on you. Prison?
Oh my god.
So sorry. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, you can say that.
Damn.
How's the audio sounding in the live?
I'm not on the live. Let me go on it quick. I'll actually go have a listen.
Okay. Here we go. Alright. Let's move it into this. Right. We're talking about anime. And while we do
Yes.
that, we're playing chess. I challenge you, Asuna, for chess.
Yes. And I accept, because I am good at chess.
Accept. Oh, okay.
Wait.
Alright.
No.
I'm white. I'm number. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be talking about anime when we play chess here in the chess camp.
Mhm.
So, anime. You
Yes.
want to say something about anime? We're both big anime fans.
Plot armor.
Plot armor. Okay. Yeah.
Let's start with that. The thing that
Yeah,
people doesn't know.
Anime protagonists have a lot of plot armor.
We know. Like what? I
Like,
think an excellent example of this is Kirito.
Sword Art Online? Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, not the only one who would be at fault for plot armor.
Yeah, there is plenty of other characters.
Yeah, 100%. But I think before we go into plot armor, we should talk about what anime means to people.
Anime
Yeah.
to me. Ooh, that is sort of a difficult question because when I first sort of got into anime, my first one was SAO. My first proper series. That's like a TV show. My first actual anime was the Godzilla film trilogy on Netflix.
My first anime was Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Before anime and Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean before all those typical things. My first proper anime was... I know they're proper, but by the time what I deem proper anime, I mean like I watch it subbed. When I first started watching Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff like that, I was still watching it dubbed.
Yeah.
Nowadays...
Sub is just better. The one problem with sub, when you look away for a second, something could happen and you could have been like lost,
Example of that in not even anime. Shang-Chi had that problem, didn't it?
Yeah,
With the Chinese, if you know what I mean.
Well, anime is important to me because it's a different, in my opinion, it's like a look on different cultures. Like, I grew up with a lot of cartoons, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, all that kind of stuff on Cartoon Network. I was a big nerd into that stuff. Anime was introduced to me by my older brother, and it was like this. It was like this really, really interesting kind of thing. Because like anime was completely new to me, and it was like, oh my god! So there's Japan's doing anime. It's kind of like Japan. I mean, made anime. It's doing all this stuff. It's so interesting seeing different culture. Like, anime is very different because, like, in American shows, right, you find stuff that's centered around like romance, where anime is a little more to the action sometimes. Now, Divorce has a lot of romance animes, and they are beautiful anime. It's just it's different world completely.
And with anime, it explores all kinds of themes as well.
Yeah. It's like anime always has to be animated, and due to the animated like whole like everything about it being animated, it's I don't know how to explain it. You know, animation is a lot more potential for series than anything else. You know,
Yeah.
you can be a lot more artistic with
I
how
know.
you work with.
Right. Wait a minute.
You right, Austin?
Is it my move or is it yours? Oh no, I was just wondering. I thought it was my move.
Yeah. Anime, though, right? It's just certain animes can be a little annoying, like harem animes and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah. I know what you mean.
overpowered protagonist is it's a casual thing. Certain animes, you know, don't push it out as much. Certain animes like, oh, he is the ancient demon thingy bob, whatever, and they go a little too far with the whole, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know. Some
But-
animes are over the top.
Yeah, and I love that for some. Like,
Mhm.
anime doesn't also just mean it's from Japan. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
Um,
it can be any country.
It's the art style. I think it's the art style that defines anime. An example
It
of it, Avatar. It's
Mhm.
American. It's our anime art style. Or there's a show called Walk Fu, French anime. There's a show called the Daily Life of the Immortal King, a Chinese anime. Like, there's all these different things, right? And
Yeah.
it's art style. And I like how in a different country attempts anime. It shows how they can be creative in a certain era.
But then there's sort of the things now that Netflix is doing to sort of ruin anime for some people. Like, I think an example of that is you heard of the Cowboy Bebop remake, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
Don't. That
Yeah.
I'll just say that now. That ruined Cowboy Bebop for me.
Yeah. Cowboy Bebop is kind of an important in an aspect, so that's the thing.
Like, there's just some anime that doesn't need touched. It doesn't need to be remade or anything. What Netflix is doing, I sort of think of it as they shouldn't. They shouldn't be doing these remakes. They shouldn't be. I
Yeah.
don't think they should be in the industry for anime. I don't think they know how to do it properly.
It's down to the aspect of if you can do it, doesn't mean you have to.
Like,
No.
don't get me wrong. Netflix had a couple decent animes. There was Castlevania, which was published by Netflix. Who actually made that though?
There is the Way of the Household Husband. Have you watched that?
No. See, most of the anime
It's
I'm
about-
watching currently. Oh wait, you go.
Yeah, no, the Household Husband thing is it. It's about a Yakuza member, a very deadly one. But he becomes not a house he becomes a house husband where his wife goes out to work. Now the whole thing is it's a comedy series, and you look at his aspect of how he makes everything feel like over dramatic.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, like. I'm just thinking about this quick before I answer more questions.
Yeah.
What do I do in this situation?
There's a point I want to make on your whole thing where you said that Netflix shouldn't be in the industry of anime. The one thing I'm gonna say about that is that Netflix is not like the only streaming platform service.
I
that's
know
really
what you mean. There's Crunchyroll. There's what Funimation. There's lots of
You know-
others.
Disney has been confirmed that they're gonna start to make anime.
Did they actually? I did not
Yeah.
actually know that.
I know.
Well, to be honest, they sort of experimented with that a little bit. I want to say.
What do you mean?
Oh well, I don't know if this is exactly them, but they did publish. You remember Star Wars Visions that got
Oh
published?
yeah! That has a lot like an anime.
Well, no, this is what the when I was doing research into it, this is what the Japanese thought of Star Wars. if that makes sense. It's how they portrayed it. That's what Visions was all about.
Oh, okay.
And then when I saw it, I'm like, this is actually, like, I know it got a negative reception, like, people didn't enjoy it. But for a first attempt from, like, Disney as a whole, and seeing that such a major company is willing to give it a go, like, they were willing to reach out to different cultures. They're willing to, like, they were willing to go to Japan, like Lucasfilm. Like, last time I checked, Lucasfilm's owned by Disney currently, correct?
It is. It's been owned by Disney for quite a time now. Like, George Lucas isn't the director of any of them right now. Well, he said he wants to go back to doing the director, seeing how they screwed up the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but what we've got to consider is that the majority of these streaming services that are new to it, including Netflix, who have been in it for a while, they will only have a couple of, like, good ones as they start out. Like, with Netflix, there was Castlevania, there was the Godzilla trilogy, which was films.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to consider. So when people are giving it, like, they're reviewing it harshly, that's the bit that I find unfair. Because they're still learning about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, a lot of anime, I feel, gets a little bit of a harsh review, though, in general. I'm just gonna say that. Like, if, like, there's a whole consensus that anime is very bad and stuff like that, and it shouldn't really exist in some extent. And I feel like when someone tries to include, like, what Star Wars did with an anime kind of theme, they're going on with the whole, oh my god, are you guys, like, you guys are being completely, like, racist towards the Japanese, copying them, crap like that. You're trying to, but, like, the Japanese people would enjoy it, you know, or something like that. And there's a whole consensus where if you don't want a peace scene that you like anime, even though it's very, like, a massive community, it can still have a lot of people naysayers about it. And when a series would give it go, oh my god, I forgot, it's my move, oh my god, it just...
Did you not notice it's Speed Chest as well?
Yeah, crap, yeah. It just doesn't... It's just this really, really weird, you know? It's like, you enjoy it, and then you gotta argue against why you enjoy it, or you don't enjoy it, and you gotta argue against why it's bad, you know? I don't know how to give it...
It's very controversial for most people, but what we've got to consider is that it started as a Japanese thing, but now it's become an art style. Other countries do it, and when we're saying that it's mainly still Japanese.
Yeah, it is.
When they're saying about the like, I want to point out. I want to go back to your. You go.
No, you go.
I was saying, I want to go back to your point about them being like, when you said about how it's controversial and people saying, oh, you're being racist to the Japanese. If that. Like, we've got to take it. What people have got to realize now is that the majority of people that actually make anime now aren't just Japanese. They're all kind of countries.
Yeah, I hear you.
People don't take that into consideration now.
As I mentioned with the different, you know... Oh, crap, I just opened up the door. There you
go.
The whole, you know, people like, oh yeah, anime can be only this certain type, but it's not that. It's actually not how that works. Because, like, as I mentioned with the different, like how China, France, you know,
everyone's
they got into those different animes. They got to try anime out, and it actually came out pretty good. And like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense because, see, even though it is anime, usually when you're talking about Avatar, you say it's an American anime. That's all I'm gonna say. That's just how I think. Like, I feel like anime is some reason controversial. Like,
And we don't
Even
understand why.
yeah, like if you go to Twitter, someone will complain about anime. There's gonna be one person who's definitely gonna be complaining about anime.
Mhm.
A massive example of this is like GG
GG.
is you know Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
People were giving out like, oh my god, it's so shameful the way they draw these characters for animation, right? But I'm looking at this like that's just biology, and they're getting a
Yeah.
little annoyed. We gotta take in consideration though that these are just characters, you know. These are fictional characters,
Mm-hmm.
and like different cultures. Like you could say the same about cartoons, but to an extent, it's just. I don't get how people complain about it.
Yeah. You
Honestly.
can't complain about a character that is fictional. Most animes are based along fantasy. Like there's the
Yeah.
odd exception of stuff like even SAO is basically fantasy, you could say. But then you have your
Like,
odd exception.
you know, Fate. A lot of their heroes are named or based off different characters of different myths and legends, stories, and stuff like that. Like, there's the spear guy, Cuchulainn, or wasn't it Cuchulainn? I think my friend told me. Yeah, but you know, there's just some of them can be based off real things. Doesn't mean it is a real thing. It's basically generosity fantasy. And if you're not into anime, I get that, but don't try to make someone else like have to go through saying that. My God, you like this anime? Oh my God, nerd! Like, God, you shouldn't like that stuff, you know? Like as I said, other companies try to get into anime and people complain, and then other people complain about people on anime complaining about certain stuff. It's a whole thing with anime. You know? It goes full circle to just people complaining, and then anime can get a little annoying, you know? Because I just want to enjoy anime. I want to watch it to learn these stories. The same way as I watch a normal cartoon or play a video game. I want to follow the story. That is it, hands down.
And that's what the majority of people do with anime. Like, even the games. Like, we've got to take it to stuff like, what was it? There's Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm now. For people who don't want to put in the hours, they are making the games. If that makes... You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
And, like, that's for people who just want to follow the game. If that makes sense to you. What your point was. For people who don't want to watch the anime, they could still get involved in the story.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't be angry over anime or ashamed about anime. It's at the end of the day, it's just a different culture's show or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
People put work into it. Just take into consideration that what your opinion is your opinion. Doesn't mean you have to force it on other people about something.
That is true. And like most.
Hey, you want to trade bishops?
Go on in. Let's trade.
Yeah,
I mean, I could have just taken your horse, but you know, bishops are worth more. Right. But like, what we've also got to consider is that most animes now are heavily criticized for stuff like plot armor or something like that. People say there's too much of it. And like, what people don't realize is most anime is did you?
I did not see that. I feel so ashamed of myself.
And this is what happens when you change me to my home game. This is what I grew up with. Like, I know this is slightly off topic.
I grew up with it.
I grew like one of the chess set, like my chess set collection, like. Yeah.
Oh, I think Austin is just doing something. Asuna, you still there? Hello? Jeez, my ice is stuck in my bottle. Oh my god. I have ice in a cold bottle.
I'm back.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So where were we?
The criticizing of anime because of stuff like plot armor and bits
Oh
like
yeah.
that. We've got to remember that most animes now, they based off mangas first of all, aren't they, or light novels? And second of all, they only, if they are based off that, they only contain like 50% of the actual content. Like SAO only used 50% of the content. If that makes, if you knew that, just a bit of trivia.
I did not know that. No.
Well, the SAO, they cut 50%, and from just the whole anime in general. But then there's progressive, which is every book is a flaw. So that then cuts out even more.
Yeah. But there's this one on multiplayer like called Spirit Chronicles, right?
I might have heard that, I might not have.
It's like an isekai, except for it takes in a whole thing from not an official. I think it is official. I'm not sure. It's a manga still ongoing, right?
Yeah.
It got very popular. The whole thing is the guy. It's like an isekai, except for instead of dying, a god made it. The god had to deal with another god where they have to transfer a human's soul to certain things. So I'm trying to think how I explain it, right? So his mom and dad were legendary heroes, but they wanted an easy life for their child. So they made a deal with the god of the isekai world so that they can go and raise their child on Earth. But the one thing is once he's of age, he has to be coming to that world as a hero, right?
Oh.
Now the one problem with it is you think this is gonna go on the thing that he's gonna get so much like women and crap like that. The actual thing is the god mistreated him because he was ugly in her eyes. Oh, I just stood up like this shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, you just did you just did it.
Yeah. So, like, where I'm going with this is that he's then sent to live off in the Firelands where like there's orcs and there's monsters everywhere. But the one thing is, he got a blessing from the other god, the god from the human world, that give him a bit of strength. He doesn't start off too powerful, but like he can harness a strong, powerful. The thing is about it is that like how do I explain it? The whole thing is he wants to get his revenge on God, and he progresses by setting up a civilization of all the mistreated monsters, like creatures, like people like, oh yeah, goblins, we'll get rid of them, dead, good is gone, you know, they're just villains, or like how the slime, that's how about reincarnate as a slime, he does the same thing. He comes to slime, and he decides that it's unfair for mistreatment of this. It's really actually kind of good. I didn't really explain it the best well, but like progressive animes really can bring a little story better across than someone who's he has the story set up, you know, we don't need to see him progress, you know?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Like, the point, for me, one of the major points of anime is that you're able to see characters progress, you learn their story, you see their characters progress. But if you sort of know a character's backstory straight away, then what's sort of like the point?
Fair enough. Like, you go.
What I think of anime is, I tend to treat it like mangas. I tend to treat them like books. You read the book series, or you watch the anime series. Like, I'll use it as an synonym, or whatever the word is. You you learn about the characters. You feel their pain. You just traded your knight.
Oh crap! I took out a rook though.
Yeah, but that is true. But you see the character progress, like Harry Potter, for example, because it's its anniversary. That is the only reason why I'm using that as an example.
Yeah, it's a good example.
You learn about, like, the main antagonist. Let's take him, for example. We'll take Voldemort as an example.
Tom Riddle, alright, let's hear about Tom.
You learn about his character.
Yeah.
You see it progress, like, you learn his backstory throughout the whole thing. His character doesn't really progress. So no, his views stay the same.
Yeah.
But you learn the backstory, which, for me, that is what anime should be treated as. It should be treated like a book, like a story. But the way most people tend to view it, and it's objectifying, it's wrong. Like, it pains me to see that. And the important part to take into consideration is...
You take a great point in a lot there, though.
There's no point for anime to be just viewed like that.
Yeah, I think there's a really good example of what you're saying there. Naruto. Gonna put it out there. Naruto is one of the best kind of anime in terms of that. Yeah, it's very long, but it gets a lot of story out there of Naruto trying to prove himself to be the next Hokage. But like, as he's been treated as a monster, because he has
whole thing. Kurama, the night demon, trapped within him. He receives all the discrimination.
Yeah, and the story progresses so long because you see that he has a rivalry with Sasuke. You see that he goes from fighting different people, fighting Team 7, being trained by Kakashi. Fighting all these different people with Madara and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And each thing, it feels like he's justed for his story. He deserves this story. Because you followed along with him on this. And anime does some of the best thing, which is some of the best story writing known ever.
Yep.
It's
beautiful.
It's beautiful. It is. It can tell you a million stories. Because I find the Japanese people, especially with their, because when I talk about anime, I'm just going to say American anime, the Japanese, normal anime, Japanese people know how to tell a story. That's how I believe. Like, if you look at some of their myths, their legends, their stories of wonder, they can tell some beautiful stories. Like this like angel creature thing, right? Or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was, but it's about a story where it falls in love with the enchantress, but the empress, but this empress is in love with, someone else, and the whole story is that instead of forcing it, it helps them along with the story, with love. And I love that about stories because, you look at this and oh, okay, this is amazing. It's a story of love, but it progresses, showing that they didn't want to just force the love in the character's story. Japan can tell such beautiful stories sometimes. That one I botched the story. But you can see where I'm coming from.
I do.
Anime is just something special. We should all enjoy it,
Anime is its own culture at this point, with its community. You could say that.
100%. I agree with you.
But I 100% treat it as if it's they discriminate. They assume that it's bad because it's Japanese mainly. That is why people.
Because the Japanese, they do seem like backwards people to the rest of society, but you can say that about anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then not just in Japanese. They just assume that some animes can be bad on names alone, or characters look and appearance alone, when we shouldn't really be doing that. Because it's another show. It's no different from watching the Star Wars, the Clone Wars on Disney, or going on watching Stranger Things on Netflix, or Ben 10 on Cartoon Network, or any of that.
Okay, do not
It's
mention
not
the
different.
remake of Ben 10 to me. I will mention that right now. Never
But do
mention
you not
that.
the
Never
remake?
mention that. The remake of Ben 10 is so bad.
Yeah, it is. I know. I understand. Agree with you.
But anyway, back to anime.
Anyway, back to anime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel okay. Let's get away from the whole discrimination of anime.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about anime characters. How do you feel about anime? How anime makes its characters?
Well, what anime characters tend to be based off real scenarios. Like, they make a character based on a scenario. Like, for example, they look at VR in SAO. They look at how that's appeared to be. Like, with SAO, we've got to take. There are so many characters in that. Like, generally, the amount of thought how much thought Kawahara put into that of his characters is just, it's magnificent.
Yeah. GG.
Like Naruto, like sure, like we don't talk about Sakura, but apart from that,
Like Kakashi, like okay. If you notice about the Naruto characters, is that each one of them sort of tells a story. Here, you can be what again if you want.
Like there's Sasuke, a man who always lived in his own family's shadow. Am I right in that? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Or well,
No.
he was mainly in his brother's shadow, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was
Or
he
like
a-
his brother killed his family and their tribe. You know?
Yeah. But I mean, like,
He
apart
wants
from that,
revenge. He wants to be powerful.
Sasuke's character,
ruthless.
like, he's always lived in his. He's always lived in his brother's shadow. Like, his brother was Hokage, he wants to live by that Hokage's example, but Naruto helps him realize that his way of seeing what his brother did wasn't how he viewed it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, we thought Sasuke originally was just driven by revenge, but
Yeah.
then see his character progress, you see it grow, and then when it comes to fruition at the end, you saw he learns how misguided and in the end, he's not that different to Naruto.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but it's true, isn't it?
It is true. Another thing is another character like that, Vegeta, you know?
Oh,
Most of them, you feel like he'd be driven to revenge, Planet Vegeta. You know, his father, his species is like extinction, right?
yeah.
But like, as the story goes on, you realize he just wanted a worthy adversary to fight. He wanted to get stronger just so he could prove that he is strong too. You know? He's not a defenseless guy. He just, you know, he wants to show how powerful he can be.
Like, I haven't seen or that much of Dragon Ball. Like,
Oh, I've seen a lot of it. I have the box set of DBZ Season 1 in my room right now.
like, I'm still reading the original Dragon Ball Super manga. Like, I've started reading that. Like, I'm hunting them down because of how rare they are. And that just proves, like, I don't want to go back to this discrimination, but the discrimination is the minority in this case. Isn't it?
Okay.
Like, it's a collector's item, isn't it? Dragon Ball Super, the manga, because of how old it is.
Yeah.
Like, and that just proves based on how hard it is to get. Like, I'm having to go on eBay and stuff when they're rare. And that just proves that the majority of people enjoy anime, and that what it's bared fruit to is wonderful.
Yeah,
Like,
that brings
you agree with me on
cultures
that?
together. Like, the Dragon Ball universe fandom usually depends on pinning characters against each other for fights, you know? And it's interesting because they put a lot of research into sometimes. Some of them go like, but some of them don't, but a lot of them do, you know? Like each anime community has its own thing. My heroes thing is shipping characters, which I find extremely weird.
Banjo, before you continue your point, you seriously fell for that.
What?
Look at the board. So you just took my rook. You seriously fell for that?
Oh, listen, I have my glasses on, and I'm talking about anime with you.
Yeah.
I'm distracted.
Anyway, back to anime. And you just made it checkmate. Oh, no you didn't. No you didn't. Never mind. Never mind. Like, anime. It's more than just anime at this point. Like, manga and everything. Just in general. It is the general storytelling.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
That is what makes anime so... It's what interests most people into it. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was for you, wasn't it?
It's a different way to look at certain stuff. Like anime about war can introduce you something different than looking at people with muskets in a documentary, you know? Looking at a war like that. But anime would talk about different types of war in terms of it could talk about like the anime Gate, which talks about like what if the mythical world came to our world and they fought each other.
Ooh. See, at that point...
No, it's actually a good anime. It doesn't like...
I know. Like, if I'd have seen the anime, I'd agree with you on that point.
Yeah. Your move.
Well, because obviously I'm judging, you're Irish, you have good opinions. Clearly whatever you say must go. People judged me for liking SAO because of the plot armor. But that's because I first read the books.
Yeah.
That's what some people forget. It's that even if it is an anime... Some people assume it's just an anime. Like SAO. It was a light novel, it got a manga. Naruto was made by Shonen Jump.
Yeah, so was Dragon Ball, and One Piece, and Bleach. You know, the big, the big three of anime, especially, was from Shonen Jump. It's always the big three.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's where they got it for MHA, and I just realised.
Yeah, right here, I have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga in my room. It's by Hiroki Araki. And it's not by their production. They just made the anime, you know. But it was based on it's Hiroki Araki's. Anna is his, you know. He made the manga. He made these characters come to life in manga enough for them to want to make a series out of it. And that's what a lot of anime does. It's not just anime. It's the manga. It's the storytelling. It's the people who make it. I feel like a lot of it can be the people who make it.
It's just it is so underestimated. Like I don't even know why people discriminate against anime. There's no point.
Neither do I. Oh wait, I didn't mean to do that! What? I didn't move that! I did not move that! I'm not touching my keyboard! I'm just looking at my screen! And the rook just moved on its own!
Is someone remotely controlling your PC? Yeah, there we go, we lost our queen. At what cost?
Okay, so on the point there, we were talking about discriminate or whatever against anime, were you saying?
Well, there's really no point. Because, like you said, it's like watching Stranger Things or watching the Harry Potter film series. It's basically that, but in its own way. And if people are saying that they can't storytell in their own way, then we're going into a topic that's very different.
Yeah. Okay, here's one thing I'm gonna say, is that some anime does, I believe, deserve some of the hatred against. I'm just gonna say that.
Yep. Well, that is...
I'm gonna give an example, I believe, of the worst anime I've seen this year.
Like, there's so
Ice
many...
White Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't this as in a rude way, like Asuna. He tries to pull a point across that it's all out there for the LGBTQ, and I'm a massive supporter of that. But some of the messages it brings in is like man bad is a lot of the story, or they try to push some of the character progression a little too far, or the animating style is a little weird. You know, it can get a little annoying. At some points, has good anime. Not every anime has always just all bad points. When I say a bad anime, it doesn't mean it always has a bad point. Some animes can have beautiful scenes, you know? And some anime can have bad storytelling, but yet can be so loved, you know?
Right.
Like, Demon Slayer right now is a bit all over the place with story, but yet its art style is so beautiful enough that people love it to hell.
Like, what is it? That's Boruto. Like, we've got to take into consideration that, as well as some episodes, they're able to get massive funding. Like, the Boruto, there was the Naruto in Baryon mode, and what's his name? And, like, another example would be SAO, where Kirito fought Gabriel in... Like, we've got to consider that they get massive funding, which proves how much it's loved by people.
Yeah, because anime is not cheap. Animation in a whole is not cheap. Like, it would take so long to animate a frame from a lot of anime. To Demon Slayer's amazing animation for when it comes into cuts, showing the flow that some sword techniques are like water or fire, to animating a character doing a transformation, Dragon Ball going Super Saiyan, watching that flicker when he first went Super Saiyan, flickering from golden to brown, his hair flowing up. It takes a lot of funding like that. Any animator who makes an animation channel would know for sure that animation does not come cheap.
Like, I know you don't like animation. Like, so many anime also. Like, when they get that god scene, like, that really good one with all the budgeting, that's the moments that people who don't like anime, they're like, wow, what is this?
This went into that. It's no different from putting money into art. You know, you're gonna fund an artist for like a museum, or you want to put it up in your room. It's no different.
Yeah.
We just want to enjoy it. We want to grab our popcorn. We want to sit down. We want to eat. You know.
Some anime get enough funding to make a film, like SAO and MHA. But what MHA's had how many films now? Like
Demon Slayer got its movie Mugen Train. Dragon Ball has quite a few movies.
MHA's on 3. I want to say this is their third film, third.
And not even just movies. There's been spin-off series, video games. You know, like in spin-off series, JoJo. Yeah, or like JoJo with its Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. To video games such as the SAO game, Naruto, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Jump Force, which was bad but was still a game. Sorry. If I was cutting across you there. Asuna? Hello? Asuna?
There we go.
Oh, I was like, what's going on?
We were continuing about the games.
Yeah, I was saying that like there was a lot of anime has a lot of games.
Like MHA, Jump Force. But we don't talk about
Dragon
Jump
Ball
Force.
Xenoverse.
Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Yes. Keep the ball rolling. Let's see. There's the JoJo
Can
game.
you count Rivals of Ether?
What?
Rivals of Ether. If you download the special characters, the majority of the special characters on that are anime.
Yeah.
Like, but like I know it's not an anime style, but even if a game is an anime style,
yeah,
they still get the characters in. Like,
yeah, and not even just video games or anime art styles. Figurines or statues can be put into that section as well. Like, I have a figurine of Master Ultra Instinct Goku and like Trunks from Dragon Ball, and then I got a Tokyo Ghoul figurine of Juzo from Tokyo Ghoul, to Reiner from Attack on Titan, to like Iggy Push from JoJo, to Pikachu plushies, Pokemon stuff, because they're still anime.
Like, there's the Pokemon games, there's Yu-Gi-Oh games, there's the TCGs, there's so much. People don't appreciate it.
Alright, okay, let's get. I feel like we're keep going back to the whole discrimination thing about anime. But like, I think we should progress on that. Why should you love anime? Oh no, actually, let's go back to that. Oh my god, no. Let's get here. Okay, setting. Genres. How do you feel about anime genres?
See, anime, you either like them or you hate them. It's a make or break situation, isn't it? Because anime, it has the same genres as most TV shows nowadays. There's dramas, there's romances, there's fantasy, there's action, there's child-friendly, there's non-friendly.
Yeah. Like, here, there's a joke part I'm about to say. There's also another example of anime having the same genres, porn to hentai. That's a joke. I just wanted to say that. I've been wanting to make a hentai joke.
Wow,
like,
bro, you got the whole squad laughing.
Shut up.
Well, I'm just thinking right now because I've only got pawns and... Hey, I just made another joke. Let's go. All I've got on my pawns.
In your opinion, do you think that... Okay, actually, in your opinion, what is your least favorite anime? Like, the genre?
Oof. See, I genuinely don't think there's a worse type of anime genre.
A lot of people like to say isekai for some reason, but I don't.
Well, here's the thing. How can I say this?
I'm listening.
No, I'm trying to think how to phrase it.
I fell for that! Wait. Huh? At some point, I'm just gonna say that, sometimes you cannot take over the rook with the king for some reason. But at some point you can. Which is weird.
Yeah, that is weird. But at least the good thing about this, even though we're going off topic, at least this one automatically does checkmate.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, yeah. So, what is your least favorite genre? Would you say?
I don't have one.
Really?
I'm leaving.
And that's because, like, for me, there's no bad anime. There's only animes that don't get implemented well.
Yeah.
Like, there's Demon Slayer, like you say. Wasn't Demon Slayer originally a... What?
Originally a what?
Am I gonna move? There we go. Oh, Demon Slayer was originally a... What's it called? It was originally a manga, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it says it is a manga.
Like, and people say it's a bad anime.
Wait,
but
what?
It's not a bad anime. We've got to remember, it can just only have bad implemented ideas.
Yeah.
The
Or a bad lead team to get it. Like, there's an anime that botched, like completely kind of ruined certain stuff for certain people. And this its name, Seven Deadly Sins. In its second last season, really screwed up with the art style. It ruined one of the most anticipated fight scenes for the entire series, and people are still mad about that. that they're trying to set petitions to reanimate it.
Why though?
Like,
That's no
what do you
point.
mean?
Like, I haven't seen Seven Deadly Sins, but there's only one of.
This one's actually justified. That's what I'm trying to get my point across. This one is justified because if you they didn't have good funding, and it kind of ruined how people were expecting this to play, how people were expecting the season to go when they were reading the manga. They replaced the color of red of blood, blood with white. So when someone bled, it looked very wrong. No, it looks wrong as it looked in as a human male reproduction thing.
Oh, I know what you mean now.
Yeah, that's why people have to. Sometimes they can be justified, in my opinion. That's what I'm gonna say.
No, that is justified. Like, you're right about that. Like, some stuff just needs to. Like, the only way anime, in my eyes, would need to get refunded or / reanimated is if they didn't get a good enough funding.
Yeah. Other than that, someone generally put work into this. Sometimes, yes, it doesn't look like they put work into it, but they tried. They tried their best, and someone else
get funding as well.
Yeah, someone else could have given it. Someone else could give it a shot. You know that. It's just you don't have to always criticize everything. There's only time to criticize is about the animation. Don't give out about someone else's art style and start saying you shouldn't watch it because of the art style alone or like that. You gotta give it a hands of story, you know. I think go for another 10, 12 minutes podcast because I think we're running a little dry and stuff to say.
Okay, let's just talk about our favorite animes then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. People judge me. I want to throw in a controversial one that people sort of judge me for. Tonikawa.
Okay. What?
Tonikawa. It's a romance anime. And people sort of judge me for that. Because they're like...
I think I know it. Can you give me the hints of the story?
It has a good story though. Like, it's star-crossed lovers. Someone gets saved by a girl. He falls in love with the girl because it's his dream girl. And then the girl agrees to date him. They get married and they're all new to this life. And you see them develop as a couple.
Purple hair. Like he has purple hair.
Wait, purple?
Oh, not purple hair. He's like the girl. Does the girl have red hair or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I know the anime. I watched it. It's a beautiful anime.
People judge me for that. For liking it.
It's like judging someone for watching a certain movie.
Look, it's like judging someone for watching I'm a Celebrity or Love Island.
Okay, well, why do you like the anime as in general? Can you give us why you like it?
It's how they develop the relationship of the couple, how it progresses. It's going back in a full circle to the storytelling of anime. Some animes don't get well received, but the actual storytelling of it, the stuff like that, that's what makes anime for me. Going back to that first question you ever asked me of what got me into anime, it's the storytelling. It's how the Japanese / other countries tell the stories in their own art styles, how it's conveyed. That's what most people want to do. It's like an author. I'll compare it to this. Most people tell stories in other ways that aren't writing or words. And that's what anime is. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I do get where you're coming from.
Some people just can't write a story. I don't want to sound rude, but the majority of people just they can't write a story with just words. They need something a bit more.
It's, as the phrase goes, that actions go farther than words.
And that's what anime is, in its simplest definition. When someone asks you to define anime, that's the thing that first comes to my mind.
Yeah. Now, do you get some points where people are going at anime, like, some humor can be
Misinterpreted.
like, there's a little bit of a whole thing where they like to have one pervert kind of character, but like he gets pervert before he does any pervy thing, like Master Roshi or what's his name from Naruto?
No, what's the guy from MHA? Grape guy.
Oh, Mineta. I actually have him on my. I liked My Hero as when it was in the manga. I did not like it in the anime anymore.
That's what things I have on my shelf. It's just the My Hero mangas.
Here's the thing, like, I liked the manga, so I have 1 and 2, but when I watched the anime and got progressed more in the story, I just started not liking it. I grew out of it, like how I grew out of Harry Potter for a while. Like, I still have a Mineta, like, I still have a My Hero wallet that I still use because it looks alright, so I might as well not throw it away, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I get where you're coming from here. So, where are we again? Yeah, so, like, the whole, humor as in pervy characters, like, I can get this can be a little frustrating and annoying to look at because, like, it's just a joke, you know? And, like, the people who get generally offended by it, or not offended, or, like, annoyed about it, or whatever, tend to realize that other countries got other humor, you know? Like, look at America. They tend to some really racist, I would say, jokes. I'm not sure how to say it. Or
I think that is the right way to describe it.
In schools, more or less, sometimes. But, like, there's a lot of majority of countries now that they want to censor jokes as a whole. But Japan is a different country. All Asian countries are different. Like, China does not work with the rest of the country, nor neither does North Korea. Japan wants to be open with the country, but it still has so many different laws. Like, well, certain parts of Japan, you're not allowed to be overweight. But, like, I guess they want to pull out the thing that they want to be a good country. But, like, they're now, you know, they're letting people be a little overweight and all that stuff like that. It's just, each country has to progress. But you cannot force them to get rid of jokes, you know?
Yeah.
Some jokes, yes, can be offensive. I understand, believe it. Yeah, go on. It's jokes. They can be annoying, frustrating for others, but like at the end of the day, it's nothing that can physically attack you. That's just down to you at the end of the day. And I just screwed up my horse. I really don't think about where I'm moving.
Maybe this was a bad game for podcast.
No, it's actually good. It's fun, you know, because chess makes you think, right? And if you want to do a podcast, you need to think. And if you're distracted by something,
trade.
You're distracted by something. It can really make you stay on something that's on your mind for an answer really quick, because a reaction to an answer can sometimes be the right answer, what you're thinking on your mind. And anyway.
But on the topic of chess, quick, can we just talk about the fact that Shay bad?
Yeah. 3 out of 4 games I won. He only won 1 game because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't even wearing my glasses.
I don't even think he wears glasses, does he?
No, I wasn't wearing my glasses. I wear glasses.
Did you still win or?
Oh, it was like a close game. It was so close. I did not know it. I was just not paying attention to it. Oh, and then the next games, he just gets dominated.
Well, you.
Listen, right? I just want to get this game over with so we can
finish the podcast.
Yeah. But in general, anime that I like, a lot of people say it's overrated, but I don't really see it that way.
See, when people say an anime's like something's overrated, you wanna.
Yeah. Like, if I mention I like Dragon Ball, someone's like, "Oh, you like? Can he beat Goku, kid?" I'm like, "No, I know certain characters can beat Goku, like Saitama. I understand, believe he can beat Goku. I don't care how powerful Goku gets. Saitama's whole joke is that he's a overpowered character. That's his whole concept. Or JoJo. I don't spur a JoJo reference all the time. I do occasionally like to, because I like to pull out that as a joke at people making jokes to me. But like, I just want to read it or watch it or something like that. Or turn it online. People are like, oh my god, plot armor, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter if you like an anime. It doesn't matter plot armor. It's still an anime at the end of the day. You want to watch it, you can watch it.
Before we end this, I'm just trying to think, is there actually a way for me to end your suffering?
Yeah. Some of my friends really don't like some of my anime poets. Like, I'm not going to list off any names, of course, because they're my friends and I don't want anything to go at them. But a lot of them don't like how I like isekai animes. I love isekai animes. The whole aspect of going to another world, escaping a boring kind of very...
Like, ReZero? That's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, ReZero is not really one of my favorites, but it is an isekai. Then there's anime. My animes that I really like: Konosuba, Overlord, Tanya, the Saga of Evil, The Time That Reincarnated Slime, The Rising of a Shield Hero, Jobless Reincarnation. Jobless Reincarnation. As most people know, recently my favorite top two anime is as follows: The Time That Reincarnated Slime and The Rising of a Shield Hero. And then beneath that is a bunch of other anime, like underneath that, Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. I'm trying to think here. What was my fourth? I'm just gonna say my five here, just so we can increase a bit of more time on the stream.
Go on.
So I was on 3 there. The next one up, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the fifth one is the daily life of the Immortal Demon King, or the Immortal Demon King, or Monkey King, or Demon. Yeah, which is a Chinese one, by the way. You should see. It's Chinese. What's your now? You list off. Now you just say what like you'd say would be just in the group. Now as many as you want. Like that's just a variety of anime, and people understand that I like that variety of anime. And what do you feel about your anime that you like?
The majority of anime I like, I get judged for, like Tonikawa, SAO, like...
Yeah.
And one of them I actually did get judged for, the Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Oh! Okay, I actually kind of... I watched that one as well, yeah.
Look, I got judged for that. Because, you know, overpowered anime protagonist.
That's the whole joke, is that he knows he's overpowered, and he just doesn't care.
He just violates you and doesn't care.
He will reset time and kill the Grim Reaper. No one gives a crap. He's powerful.
He will genuinely kill all your parents and your nan and still wouldn't care.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
JoJo's power level to him. Like,
I'm gonna say one thing that it depends. Have you watched JoJo?
I've seen like the memes. Genuinely, let's not start a new game here.
Ain's power said he was at max when he was resetting like the universe. He was able to reset the universe, which is his max, right? Which would equivalent him to the equal power of the end of underneath the power, actually, just underneath the Rimuru, who's at the end of Isekai's of his anime because he gets very powerful, and Xeno from Dragon Ball because he created 15 universes. But JoJo has a kind of weird level scape because it's not about the characters, it's about their stand abilities. There's a stand that resets the universe to point one of the JoJos himself is Jesus. A JoJo villain makes it that all universes are equal, or another JoJo like Giorno Giovanna's ability is that anyway you do die, he sends you to an infinite death loop for the rest of eternity. It's a weird scale, so JoJo can't really be put into a power scale because it's interesting how to say it. But behind that, okay, I got off topic. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Continue what you're saying.
I actually don't remember.
You were talking about Irons and his power level like the JoJo there.
Oh no, see, what people tend to think is, when you watch an anime about an overpowered person or something about that, or when you're just thrown straight into the story, but then you get a backstory straight after, like, have you been watching the World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat?
I started the first episode. I'm not on the second one.
So, I won't spoil it for you, but basically you start in the fantasy world, but then you go into his backstory in like the first episode, and then you progress from there. You see him get reincarnated, and then you progress his story from childbirth.
Yeah.
And like, that's me putting it simply without spoiling it.
Yeah, you know what you said. That's very similar to the slime. Basically, I'm just gonna say it because it's easier to say than the whole freaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm assuming you start with them slime, and then you see how they.
I've watched all of it. I've read the manga. He goes from the whole thing where he just wanted to live a kind of a peaceful, safe life. Because when he was, the whole thing is that he got stabbed in the street, and we don't really know the reason. And he was speaking to the great sage in his mind, and that was going to reset, like, isekai or reincarnate him. And he just goes on a whole list of things, like he doesn't want to feel this pain, he doesn't want to feel any of this, and it turns him into a slime, and he doesn't know how to feel anything. And it goes from his progressive making friends with a dragon imprisoned in a cage, him fending wolves and goblins, but making a city, freeing a human who finds out that he's another isekai, like another person who's been isekai in this world, finding out so many stuff, getting a body of a human when they die. It keeps going on up until a point where he's a goddamn demon lord. It goes so, like, it shows progression in his character. Showing that he can take a concept of a weak slime, which is considered such a weak class RPGs of creatures, you know?
Yep.
Take a concept, go with it, and if it gets popular, and if you know that the story's good, you have a winner.
Like, what was it, like I saw like the first episode for and I loved it, but I haven't seen it since. I killed slimes for 100 years and then achieved max level.
When I was looking at that, I was like, oh no, Rimuru. Rimuru, no! No, she's gonna kill you. I was laughing my head off. I was like the whole comment section when that was revealed, it was like people were like, oh my god, Rimuru, no, run away, she's gonna kill you. Like, I seen that one as well, and I liked how she just wanted a quiet life, you know? And I liked it was a different thing.
Like, she overlooked herself in her first life, she got reincarnated, and then she just had a nice, gentle life, and then became too overpowered that she does not get that.
Yeah. It's because she's a witch is why she lived for so long.
And it's even retained her youth.
Yeah. And I feel like anime gets a lot of respect as well. I know we talked about this Nation.
At the end of the day, anime is one of the most watched things in the world.
Like, I smiled a lot when watching the anime Isekai Quartet.
I have not seen that.
It's where, okay, before you watch it, you should watch ReZero, Konosuba, Overlord, and Tanya, the Saga of Evil. Because without them,
ReZero's on it.
Yeah. So it's basically, it's 4 isekai different animes, right? There's a button that's randomly placed in their universe, and then they just get isekai into like a school thing. The whole thing is it's comedy. It's a comedy aspect on these characters that a lot of people already love to hell with, and it keeps going great because, like, in the second season, they bring in the shield hero as an exchange student, from that anime, that isekai, and then there's the cautious hero isekai who just walks by the school. Like, nah, we're not going in there because he's cautious and he's like, it seems dangerous with all the power kind of characters. It's all these anime. Like, he's giving all these really interesting shit-outs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let me just get my Crunchyroll open quick and see what's actually on like my list that I've got set up on it.
Yeah, we got a few minutes till we end. So we have gone for like an hour 24 minutes. So
okay, we've got Rising of the Shield Hero.
Mm-hmm.
That time I got reincarnated as a slime. We've got A Silent Lie. Like the film.
Oh, I think I've seen that. I actually think I've seen that. I can't remember if I have now.
I've got SAO Alternative.
Yeah.
Like, I've been avoiding that for a while now. Because it's just
Yeah.
GGO. I'm just seeing. Yep, Boruto. Because obviously that's still being released.
Yeah.
Misfit of Demon King Academy, I'll always rewatch so many times.
Yeah.
Tokyo Revengers.
I actually haven't watched that.
I have, no, that's on my list.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyway, so we take a look at the anime we like. We got a lot of insight in how we feel about anime and how we feel about it being treated. But like,
we need a final.
I think we got a point across. You know, I think this is a good time to end up the stream. I think we've been at this, like, we've been in the call for an hour and 40 minutes. The stream has been going for an hour and 25 minutes.
Yep, we should, definitely.
Yeah, so before we go, let's get a bit of a raid. Let's see who's live. And if we don't have any, let's see, who should...
Andreas. Andreas is live, isn't he? He's Shiny Honey.
Andreas, okay, let me see here.
I think he's live. He's...
The Draco, the Shiny Shack, Random Gamers, Johnny Kano, Blizzman...
Isn't that Patrick? There's Draco, there's...
Where's Andreas?
Hey, yo, let's raid yourself.
What?
Let's raid yourself. Oh no, did he end?
Andreas?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Wait, where is Andreas actually? Where is his server? Have I lost his server?
Draco... Lapis...
Draco?
There's Draco, on my inside there's Draco, Lapis Live, the Random Gamers, there's the Shiny Shack. No, yeah, I think Draco can get a bit of a kickstart here. Well, 10 people, like,
get the code. Or not the code, the tag.
So the hashtag would be... Well, what? Something like Banjo.
Banj 2.
Banshina.
Yes, Banj.
Hashtag Banshina. I put it there in my chat. Oh, we got...
I see it.
I don't... Oh, wait, we don't have any people in my thing. Well, I can share the link into my server as well. I have a where to raid when I believe that a lot of people should get raided.
I won't send it yet, just in case.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where's the word to raid? Sorry about this.
But did we consider I know we're ending. I think we might need to do a part 2 to this anime because we haven't considered the mobile aspect yet. Like, I know we finished games. We didn't look at the mobile end and stuff like Genshin and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Alright, go in for hashtag Bashina raid. Banshina
Okay.
raid.
Shall I send it?
Yeah.
There we go. I just... Okay. Joe. Damn.
Oh my god, we're supposed to have Bashina raid. Oh my
Did
god,
you-
you were supposed to put in raid! It now looks weird!
Yeah. Yeah, I put Banjoozie raid.